Hello and welcome back to our U.S. History series here on Cerebri Learning. This week we'll be covering the beginning of the Second World War. The war began in 1939 when Germany declared war on Poland, causing France and the UK to join the war against Germany. Poland fell quickly, and by the end of the month the government was fleeing. Early in the next year, the Nazis also invaded Denmark and then Norway. While preparing for war, France created a long line of defenses along the border with Germany known as the Maginot Line. This mostly consisted of fencing, cement walls, as well as some underground rail lines. It was meant mostly to deter or slow down any invasion by Germany. However, the French didn't expect an invasion coming from the northern Low Countries, and the Nazis practiced their method of warfare known as Blitzkrieg. This translated to lightning war. It was notable for its use of air superiority and high mobility in its forces. By the end of the month, the Low Countries had been occupied. France held out as long as they could, but by the end of June, the northern part had been annexed and a puppet state was set up to the south. Germany's ally fascist Italy officially joined the war in that month as well. The summer also saw the Nazis begin their brutal air raids on the UK, known as the Battle of Britain. The new British Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, urged people in the UK to keep calm and carry on. The Battle of Britain eventually ended at the end of October as a loss for the Nazis. The war wasn't only going on in Europe, however. Japan continued to invade territories in Asia, as well as fighting a deadly war with China, where many innocent civilians were murdered. That year also saw an invasion of British-controlled Egypt from Italian-controlled Libya, as well as an Italian invasion of Greece, which ended up being a complete disaster for the Italians. The successes in Egypt and Greece were big wins for the Allies, but they'd soon face another problem in the nations of Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, and Slovakia joining the Axis powers. Early the next year, the Axis invaded Yugoslavia, breaking it up and creating puppet states. Despite Churchill's warnings to Stalin of an impending Nazi invasion, the USSR was blindsided when it happened. The Nazis planned to get rid of a Soviet threat before the British and Americans could ultimately mobilize. Nazi forces pushed far back into Russia, destroying buildings and ultimately causing the death of millions. Meanwhile, Japan was still fighting China and invading a number of Pacific islands. They ultimately decided to preemptively strike the US fleet in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, to buy Japan time to expand more in the Pacific. On December 7, 1941, Japan attacked, and the US swiftly declared war on Japan. In the following days, Germany and Italy declared war as well. With the two new superpowers of the US and the Soviet Union on the Allied side, the tides of the war were about to change. Stay tuned for next week's video, which will be covering the years 1942 and 1943. We here at Cerebri Learning would like to thank you for watching this video. And if you like this, check out some of our other content like our physics series, or some of our standalone videos. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and also be on the lookout for future series. Our full bibliography will be in the description down below. We've also included some other useful resources for those of you who'd like to learn more.